What's Gucci, y'all? So anyway, now that it's later in the night and stuff like that, I've gotten my errands done, talked to the people I need to talk to, and finish up with a little bit of cult knowledge. Might as well. Because, there's so many charlatans, so many scammers out here and shit. Title of this video: what is a purification ritual? What is a purification spell? What is a cleansing? What is to purify? Okay, let's get into it. So, a purification ritual. Like how if you go into a store, a metaphysical store, and for example, you get in there and you start looking at that they got sage, they got Florida water, they got some crystals, some books, but then you go to the crystals first, and you ask them. A lot of times, when you go in there, even though they'll have like a card and it will tell you what that crystal is usually for, the people in there will tell you that, well, this stone could be used for different things. It's not just what it says on the card whatsoever, even though that's mainly what the stone's functions are. Like amethyst with breaking bad habits. And the thing is, I think this is a very honest and general approach when you go into a spiritual store. And they should do the same when it comes to cleansing and purification as well. And what do I mean by that? Now, this might be the opposite of what I meant when it came to like the stones and all that, but it's on the same spectrum. It is that when you are cleansing, purifying, and stuff like that, whether it be with Florida water because it's quicker, sage, Palo Santo, heather. Heather is a good herb to help with the stomach and stuff like that, to get, detox and shit as well. Detoxify like any toxins that you got out of your body. The list goes on. Some, stones are good for purification as well. There's herbs that you can use. They sell blends of it out there in the store. I might, eventually even make my own soap someday, an own purification blend, but that's besides actually the point of this video of what purification is. See, a purification, if you go back into historical terms, because some people believe things are permanent, like a solution can just be fixed by doing it one time, which we already know that's full of shit. For example, the lingering purification would obviously be a baptism. Just like how a baptism was lied for, actually, the real meaning of baptism was that they used a particular kind of wood to purify and filter the water, because in the Mediterranean parts, they didn't come up with the copper purification ritual for water like the Norse did with the pagans and stuff in Northern Europe. So the Mediterranean people would use a particular kind of wood and stuff like that to purify and filter their water so it was clean. So really, like how the Norse pagans, they bathed a lot. They were clean, or compared to the other Europeans and shit. They were lied to in Christianity that if they converted into their religion of Christianity, that they were going to have clean drinking water and, all this shit. which they did not get. They were treated as, you know, how the JEWs, the small hats, treat people who convert. Oh, these pagans converting into our religion, they haven't accepted our Lord and all that. And they treated them worse than the everyday Christian peasant. Like, so when people say that people converted religions whatsoever because they saw something else, yeah, a promise that wasn't made. But, so what I'm trying to say at the end of the day is any spiritualist out here whatsoever that says you need sage to cleanse, you need to put your stones in the, you know, under the basically, you know, water or, you know, the moon, yeah, water, and only water is what you need to cleanse. You don't need Florida water. You don't need sage. All you need is clean water and to wash your hands. Every time you do some dark shit, wash your hands. Every time that you feel like there's some energy, negative energy building up on you, maybe someone's put it on you, wash your hands. Cleanliness is next to godliness. See, a purification ritual is not an uncrossing, though. An uncrossing is a relatively new term because of the golden age of the occult and how evolution with taking pictures and stuff like that has made it possible to put curses on people. There's a lot more than just purification that goes on nowadays. There's curses and stuff like that. So therefore, you have to uncross regularly too. And can you do that with water? Well, yes, you can. You can consecrate the water as well. So any occultist out here that tells you that you need something, you need to pay all this money for a ritual to cleanse and purify, is the biggest crock of crap that I've ever heard in my life. Way bigger than some of the other lies that they talk about. When they, you know, for example, they slap the chicken on you. A good way to get fucking, some dirty shit on you there. Like, that ain't purifying. Like, so yeah, at the end of the day, all you need is water. See, like I said, you know, for example, like it goes on the opposite spectrum, but it's also, I mean, it's opposite, but it's on the same spectrum as like how they explain it in these spiritual sops when they're honest about these stones and stuff like that. Let me give you an example. If I buy, say, like a soap or whatever, and it says it's for a particular thing, depending on the herbs that are put into that soap, whether it be purification, whether it be uncrossing, whether it be healing, whether it be to draw things in, like come to me, motherfucker, because I want attention, then what you're going to understand is you're going to build and you're going to develop a relationship with the herbs of that blend over time, like a spirit. Like how I have built a relationship with dominating my enemies just by smoking a cigarette and knowing knowledge. Because my cigarette is my magical wand. Although I do have a wand and stuff like that I've custom made myself, though the cigarette reference is more of a metaphor. Like, tobacco can even be used to cleanse. For example, say like you get bit by a mosquito and that mosquito has some thing that you don't want in your body and you want to draw out the fucking malaria or poison or whatever. Well, get some tobacco that you saved from your blunts. And I'm not talking about like shitty Swisher Sweets. I'm talking about Maharis, Macanudo, Panther, and shit like that. And write it down in a bag and save it. And you can burn it in your bonfire. You can use it to draw out infections. So, like I was, back to the spectrum part and it being the opposite. Like I was saying, you don't want to like touch your girlfriend or your animals, your family, your pets, unless you purified after you did some dirty work. And it's not that it's necessarily going to rub off on them. It's just a bad habit in general because you got to keep your sanity. And that's really what a purification ritual is. It gives you the ability to stop with the shadow work and stop with the negative energy. And so you can focus and go back to square one and manifest. Because, like, when you go into a store as well, and if they're smart and they tell you you're basically, going to light some sage, I mean, I'm pretty sure you're not going to want to just purify with that sage. You're going to want to try to think about things that you're going to want to manifest too, or try to bring in and try to get out. It's like Shiva with, the creation, destruction, or Odin or whatsoever. Death and rebirth, destruction, then things being rebuilt. So there is no permanent purification, and you must maintain and be clean at all times if you want to be 100% pure. And that's how purification really works. With that being said, peace out, y'all.